is one of the main ingredients in our slime recipes, but can we make slime without it? Today we'll be testing out 4 glueless slime recipes and see if any of them makes a good slime. So let's start with our first recipe. So the first slime recipe we're gonna test out requires dish soap and cornstarch. I'm not sure what type of texture this is going to create, but let's find out. So first we need to add 2 cups of cornstarch into our bowl. This is already getting messy, guys, but we have our first cup. Okay, and our second cup. Welcome to our cooking class. So next we need 1 1/2 cup of our dish soap. So we will just pour that into the bowl. Whoa. The final 1/2 cup. These are the only 2 ingredients required for this recipe. So let's mix it. Just gonna mix it slowly because we don't want cornstarch to get all over our face. I feel like this is gonna turn into more of a dough texture rather than slime. It smells very fresh and clean though. And the color is so pretty. So once you mix both of the ingredients all together, we're supposed to let it sit for 2 minutes.
A few moments later.
All right, so it's been 2 minutes and now, moment of truth. I'm gonna try touching it in the bowl before we take it out. This just feels like frosting. It's really sticky and it's definitely not texture of slime, but I feel like if we add more cornstarch, we might be able to fix this. So we're gonna pour in a little bit more cornstarch and see if it's going to make the slime more doughy and holdable. And you know what? We're just gonna mix it by hand. Oh. And you can actually kind of hold it, but I can just feel the bubbles forming inside of the slime because of the dish soap. I think something's happening. Ooh, we're getting something. It's actually holdable now. Definitely not slime. It feels more like dough. This is the final result of our recipe. We added more cornstarch because without it, it was just super sticky and you can't even hold it. But after adding more cornstarch, it turned into this doughy texture. So this texture kind of feels like really fresh pasta dough or kind of like cookie dough. It's definitely not stretchy, clearly, but you can definitely squish it and it's super, super dense. So this recipe did sort of slime. Now let's move on to our second recipe. So our second recipe requires 2-in-1 shampoo, some more cornstarch, water, and food coloring. So let's see if this recipe makes slime. So we're first going to add some of this 2-in-1 shampoo. They specify that it has to be 2-in-1 shampoo. So we'll be adding 1/2 cup of 2-in-1 shampoo into this bowl. And we got a 2-in-1 shampoo that smells like green apple, so I know this slime is gonna smell really, really good. Next, we'll be adding some of this neon bright pink food dye to make it light pink. Just a drop should be enough. Got our gigantic spatula again. We're gonna mix this up first before we add rest of the slime ingredients. And next, we'll be adding 2 1/2 cups of cornstarch. And since it's a thickening agent, this should make it more like slime. First cup, second cup, last 1/2 cup. Hopefully it clumps together, but we have one more ingredient to add after this, which is water. So this feels very crumbly right now. Definitely doesn't look like slime or feels like slime. We are now going to add some water, and this recipe says to add a little bit of water at a time. So we're just going to scoop a little bit with this cup and add it little by little. I don't know how much water this recipe will need, but I feel like we definitely need more than that much. We added a little bit more water and it's slowly clumping together. Kind of feels like the first recipe, but a little bit less sticky. Doesn't really smell like green apple anymore. This recipe is actually coming along pretty well. Also, the color turned into a really weird shade of pink. We're just gonna knead it by hand now because we can now hold it. So it's definitely sticking onto my hands. I feel like we need a little bit more water, but that's just gonna make this less stretchy. Ooh, it's kind of gross. Maybe if I continue kneading it for a few more minutes, it might be less sticky. This is not what I expected this recipe to turn out like. Because it requires cornstarch like the last recipe, I felt like this is gonna turn into like a doughy texture. Definitely not stretchy, definitely not holdable. I'm not sure if I'll call this a slime, and I hope you guys don't either. It kind of reminds me of tuna salad. Doesn't really smell like green apple anymore, like the 2-in-1 shampoo that we used. I think it's because of the cornstarch. Yeah, this recipe does not make slime. Let's move on to our third recipe. So our third recipe requires lotion, baby oil, and toothpaste. I have seen a lot of slime recipes before, but never seen one that requires a toothpaste, so I'm very curious to see how this is gonna turn out. So first we need to squeeze this whole toothpaste into a microwavable bowl. Okay, squeeze out the rest. And now we're going to microwave this for 30 seconds. Now, where is the microwave? All right, we got our microwave here. Just magically appeared out of nowhere. So we're gonna put this mixture into our microwave and microwave it for 30 seconds. I can't see. Okay, and we have to stir it and then add it into the microwave again for 30 seconds. Oh, it kind of thickened the toothpaste. And then we'll add it for another 30 seconds. Let's see if it's thickened up a little bit more. Okay, it's kind of forming some, it's like foamy a little bit. All right, and we're gonna repeat this until this mixture thickens. See you guys in a bit.
A few minutes later.
So we microwave this mixture a couple more times, and now we have to take it out and knead it by hand. It really thickened the toothpaste. Definitely still is a little bit sticky, and it's super stiff. It kind of feels like chewed up bubble gum. Now we have to add some lotion to this toothpaste and take it out of the bowl. Hopefully this will help me take this slime out because it's really stuck to the bowl. Now we added lotion into this toothpaste. It's a little bit sticky, but now we're going to add a few drops of this baby oil and it should help with the stickiness. Okay, that's good. Yeah, there is potential. There is potential. I feel like if I maybe knead it a little bit more, definitely doesn't look like the picture because it's really sticky. It does have that stretch. Sort of. Well, this recipe has some slime characteristics like the stretch, but it's definitely super sticky, so this one did not slime. Now let's move on to our fourth recipe. For our last recipe, we have flour, water, and more dish soap. I have high hopes about this one, and since it's our last recipe, let's hope that it actually makes some slime. So first, we'll add 1 tablespoon of water and 1 cup of flour. Let's pour this in. And now let's mix this. So it's definitely still pretty crumbly, but I think I mixed the water thoroughly. So now let's add our dish soap. We have to pour this slowly and mix. Feels like I've been making dough all day. Ooh, this is now clumping up pretty well. Now that everything is clumping together, we're gonna take it out, add some dye, and knead it by hand. Add some blue dye. Still a little bit sticky, really just feels like dough so far. Now that we're done kneading the slime, we're going to seal it and put it in the fridge for about 2 hours.
2 hours later.
It's been 2 hours, and now let's see how this slime feels. It's kind of cold, as expected. And whoa, okay, it's like a dough. Feels very dense. It's not sticky, which we love, but let's try stretching it. Ooh, it kind of feels like a very stiff butter slime. Doesn't have that much stretch, but it's the stretchiest one out of all the recipes that we've tested out so far. Kind of feels like jerky. Feels kind of like Play-Doh, and it doesn't smell that good. I think this is the best recipe though we had in this video. You can definitely like squish it and poke it. I don't know if I would call this slime, but I'll say this is the best one we've tested today. Much better. Now this is real slime. It was really cool experimenting with glueless slime recipes I found online, but I'll say I'll definitely stick to my slime from now on, which you can shop every Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time on our website. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos. Comment below which recipe you thought was gonna work out in this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. This is gonna be messy. This is the first one that we wanna shoot. Does anyone want a high five? Now, where is the microwave?
Oh, we're doing this again? You know, I'm getting really tired of you snapping your fingers on camera.
Oh my god.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I ate that. Ow.